Good afternoon, and welcome to another edition of Forever Young, where we believe that age is just a number. And as you'll get to see, the lovely panel we have today will prove to you that age is just a number. I'm Dr. Sharon Mitchell. I'm one of your co hosts for Forever Young, and I typically share this platform with David Linton, who's our host. He won't be joining us today, but I do have someone else joining me today who is usually part of this trio, the lovely and most beautiful Miss Hendricks, Miss Jean Hendricks, if you'll say hello to our guest this afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon, Dr. Mitchell, and to our guests. I'm delighted, as always, to be here and share this post with you. Back to you.
Thank you, Miss Hendricks. And as usual, we have an exciting guest that will join us today. And we are continuing our series for Forever Young, where we're talking about healthy aging and healthy living. And our guest today is going to share some information with us as it relates to healthy living and healthy aging. We have with us today a skincare, someone who refers to herself as a skincare farmer and founder of Iwi Fresh, Miss Meetolanda Owens. But I'll get a little more into her background after we get a little bit of inspirational information from Miss Jean Hendricks. Back to you, Miss Jean.
Thank you again, Dr. Mitchell. I found this one poem and it simply says skin care. My skin begs me daily to care for it. Microscopic mouse yawning for moisture. I ignore the voices and laugh into my fourth slice of pizza. I am trying to eat healthier, but instead I just shower and hope the mouth stays silent. They've been screaming a while though. Invest in your skin. It's going to represent you for a long time. Back to you, Dr. Mitchell.
Thank you, Miss Hendricks. That was absolutely amazing. It certainly sets the stage for our conversation today. As I indicated to you before, we're going to be joined today. Our guest is Miss Meetolanda Owens, who is from the Atlanta area. Actually grew up in Southwest Atlanta in the urban community, where she graduated from Charles Lincoln Harper High School. Miss Owens is typically referred to as the skincare farmer and founder of a company called Iwi Fresh. Words to describe her are typically genuine, passionate, and a natural talent, which talks about what she does in terms of her handcrafting raw skincare products for nearly 2 decades. She is the founder of Iwi Fresh Skincare Farming Spa in Atlanta, Georgia, which of course we said is her hometown, where she's pioneered a movement that inspires, educates people to care for the body's largest organ, which we refer to as the skin. She'll share a little bit about how she came up with the name of Iwi Fresh. But something significant is that she is an HBCU graduate with a degree in computer science and a minor in engineering. And after she left her corporate America, pursued a passion in holistic skincare, where she has created skincare farming products and a holistic vegan day spa. I like to introduce to some for the first time, and certainly for me and my family, someone that we have grown to know as a wonderful entrepreneur and a great friend, Miss Yolanda Adams. Yolanda, welcome to our show. To welcome you.
Thank you. Thank you. I thank you for the compliment of saying Yolanda Adams. I get that all the time.
Oh,
so thank you.
you get it all the time.
I just can't
That's right.
like her. But it happens all the time. And I take that as a compliment.
So wonderful. In fact, she just got nominated for something recent too. So I can see the Freudian slip, but of course you've got the same air and beauty as she does. So we're gonna count it to that. But thank you, Ms. Yolanda Owens, the one and only that we know in terms of our local stardom, Ms. Yolanda Owens, who's a skincare farmer. Ms. Hendricks and I would like to ask you a few questions in terms of just this whole journey that you've been on in terms of skincare, because we believe that's something that we need to spend a little more time talking about. Ms. Hendricks, I'm going to actually let you start asking the first question, and then I'll come back and ask a few more questions with Ms. Owens.
Okay, since we are focusing, Yolanda, on healthy aging. Tell us what do you do at the skincare as a skincare farmer?
Yes, the skincare farmer was something that the community named that. I got that name through the
Uh-huh.
community. And
Wow.
yeah, I think I got it because, as the skincare farmer, I'm so passionate about feeding your skin the truth.
Mm,
And the truth is with
mhm,
fruits and vegetables and all type of herbs. And that's really my
mhm.
motto is feed your skin the truth. And as a
Uh-huh.
skincare farmer, I spend a lot of time in the garden, which is something that I feel that we all should do, and it's part of aging too. It's part of a remedy for aging. But the skincare farmer is all about really being aware and conscious and educated on what we are putting on our skin. I think sometimes we just don't know. We take our skin for granted. And so I'm here to really, as a skincare farmer, to educate the mass, the community on what we are putting on our skin and how important it is and the impact that it has on our overall health, on our overall health.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Mhm.
Yeah, that's amazing, and I didn't realize that you actually got that title from the community, because it's an unusual title, and certainly it's not something that we hear
Mhm.
shared, and certainly not in our community where we get to hear so much about products that are commercialized. So, can you
Right.
share with us a little bit about how did you start this journey in making your own skincare products? Nobody, people don't do that every day. So, what made you decide to
Mm-mm.
do that?
Yes, well, I always like to give honor and homage to my grandmother, who is my lovely ancestor. I say she's the true, real founder of Iwi Fresh. My grandmother, it started when I was a little girl. I had eczema, and my grandmother would put me literally in the bathtub, literally with garlic and onions and collard greens, all type of
Mm.
vegetables, and she would really heal. It would heal my eczema. The only thing is that when I went outside to play with my cousins, they would tease me and say, "Oh, you smell like food. Oh, you stink," And so, it's killed the eczema. I just had this garlic smell, and it was always a joke around the family, around the household. But as fast forward, I had a son, my son Austin had eczema. And when Austin had eczema at that time, I had graduated from college. I was, six figures, and I was going out to buying the best products over the counter, getting dermatologists, and just getting all the high end products for my son's eczema. And it was getting worse. It was making it worse, causing a lot of side effects.
Mm.
And that's when I knew then I said, oh, wow, I got to revert back to grandma's
Mhm.
recipe. And that's when
Mhm.
I went into this mad scientist mode and started really
Wow.
creating and thinking because my grandmother would created her fruits and vegetables and all her home remedies from her garden. And we used to call my grandmother the home remedy queen because she didn't believe in buying anything from the store. She just didn't trust it. And so I kind of reverted back to her and got her some of her recipes before she passed on and began to really deep dive into skincare. I went back to school after I graduated as an engineer. I went back to school and became an esthetician, got my esthetician license, took some herbal certification classes, some nutritional classes, gardening classes, and I just kind of went deep dive and started really putting on my engineering hat and started creating a solution, you know? And that's how Iwi Fresh really was formed. And I came up
Mm.
with the name because, Iwi stands for it is what it is. And I wanted to create something that really what it was. So Iwi is it
Mhm.
is what it is because whatever it is, that is what it is.
Okay.
Yes.
there's a decline in blood donations. Talk to us about why should we give blood?
When you donate, you save 3 lives. So I think this is a great thing. Like your platelets, your whole blood, and your plasma is split up. So it's not going directly to one patient, but it's actually being split up and it's going to 3 different patients.
Now that you have gotten all of your ingredients together and now you want to spread it around in your family and community, when did you start that part of it? I hear you went to school and then you had a child. Now, when did the actual business mind start kicking in?
Well, when I think about when the business mind kicked in, I go back to college because I think it was kicking in then, but I just didn't realize it. I remember my grandmother sending me a care package to college. And when I opened up the care package, it had onions and garlics, collard greens, and I'm like, okay, grandmother, you just got 2 onions, 2 garlics, collard greens. What is it? She was like, put the garlic on the palm of your hands, put the onion on the bottom of your feet. And then she had these little knee-high stockings in there. And she was like, wrap it, put your onion in there, put the collard green on your forehead. And so I used to do that. And my roommates would like literally laugh at me. But I never was sick. I never was sick. And so after a while, they would come to me and be like, do you have any more of your grandmother's onions and garlics? And I was like, just go to the store and get it. Wow. They were like, no, we want your grandmother's onions and garlics. Right. And so it became kind of like this little thing in college of me doing that. And I started doing that and not realizing that really Iwi Fresh was forming at that time, but I just didn't connect the dots. I didn't connect the dots. And yeah, and they always tease me about it. So everybody from college knows me as that. So I didn't realize it. I graduated from college, worked as an engineer for several Fortune 500 companies, traveled around the world, got married, had children, and then I decided as an engineer, it was just I just knew there was more to me than these corporate walls. I knew there was more to me. I felt it. It was in my spirit. And I wanted to do something else besides being in corporate America. And I went back to the skincare because that's what I was creating. And when I was online, I pledged sorority, the wonderful Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. I pledged. And when I pledged, I did this soy mask for my line sisters. And everybody loved it. It was made out of soybeans. And everybody loved it. And after I went over, people were like, can you make more? Can you make more? And I was like, I don't really do that for a living. I don't know. And so finally, after one of my sorors came to me and she was like, please make some more of that. So I said, I can probably do that. So I started making the soy masks again after I graduated. And it just kind of spiraled into a business. And I just started deep diving. And then when Austin was born, I healed his eczema and I just went into this mad science mode. Yeah.
Now, Yolanda, one quick question before Dr. comes on. When your grandmother sent you those ingredients, I can almost imagine that they came from the ground that she grew. Is there a difference in the ones that comes from the ground that your grandmother nurtured or from, in your backyard? I imagine backyard, I have a little small garden, as compared to the ones that you buy, the ingredients that you buy from the store. Have you found that to be a difference?
Absolutely. Anything that comes straight from Mother Nature, from the Mother Nature, the woman, the Mother Nature is going to be so powerful, so powerful, so untouched, not contaminated. And so that's the purity of it when it comes from the ground. And of course, when it came from my grandmother's garden, so much love because it was all her love.
Yes.
And I think it's the love that when we seed, when we plant the seed in the ground and the love and the intentions of it, it sows into that as well. I'm a true believer of that.
Yes, I thought so. Thank you for that. Thank you. That just this spring I said, I'm not going to do a garden this year, but now that you mentioned all those things, yes, I am.
And you
Thank
can
you
do a
so much.
small
Yes.
garden. You can do a container
Yeah,
garden
yeah,
where you can control
right,
it a little better. Yeah.
right, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. Mhm.
Yolanda, when you were talking about it, I remember the saying from my grandmother where we had all the home remedies for everything from your skin to when you were sick. We
Mhm.
first of all, we didn't have the money to go and buy a lot of stuff, and then they believed in true products from the ground. And now we
They
see
really
those
did.
same products now. Yeah, now they're being used in products that we're paying a lot more money for, but our grandmothers and great grandmothers were the originators in
Mhm.
terms of natural
Yes.
skin products,
Mhm, mhm,
natural healing products. They went to the
mhm.
backyard, like Miss Hendricks was saying.
Yeah.
They went and they pulled it off
Mhm.
off the tree or off the branch, or
Yeah.
so it
Wow,
is not
wow.
not
And
new. It's just amazing that
they had beautiful skin. They had beautiful
Mhm,
yes,
skin.
mhm,
yes,
mhm,
Yeah.
I agree. Now let me ask you, since you're
mhm.
talking about skincare, are your clients primarily female, or do you find that you have men joining in with skincare regimens as well? Do you find your audience to primarily be women?
They're primary women, but the men are coming in. And these men are loving their skin. It's funny because
Wow.
even the women that come in there, they're all a lot of the women that come there, I'll say, "How did you find out?" Their man sent them there. Their man found
Uh-huh.
us and
Wow.
sent them there.
Oh,
Wow.
okay.
Because I'm finding that men love natural. They love natural beauty. They
Mhm,
really do.
mhm.
Wow. Okay, Miss
Now, do
Hendricks.
you refer yes, do you refer to your establishment as a natural garden, and then why? A
Yeah, we
natural
it's
garden?
it's a natural organic garden because everything we do at Iwi Fresh, so we have a spa which is located in downtown Atlanta, Georgia, right there by the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And in that spa, it's a sustainable self-care. It's toxin-free. It's just like these plants behind me. When you walk in there, you think you're walking into the botanical gardens, and the air is oxygenated. So normally when you walk in a spa or a nail shop, you smell fumes because of all the acrylic and toxin. We don't do any chemicals. We do all natural nails, no acrylics. Everything we do is just totally natural. And so that's why it's called. And what we do is we partner with local farmers in the Atlanta area, and we handpick all the fruits and vegetables, and we bring them back to the spa where I, the skincare farmer, juice them, I mix them, and I make skincare recipes, and then I apply them to our spa services. So that's why we're a
Wonderful.
natural garden spa.
Mhm.
Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna you'll see me there very soon.
Yes, I hope to.
E- Excellent. So, Yolanda, one of the things you talk about is that you state that you believe what you put on your body is just as important as what you put in your body. Can you share a little bit why that's your philosophy? Why do you believe that?
Absolutely, absolutely. What we eat, we know now that what we're eating is important. And I think we've now shifted a lot of our energy to being very conscious of eating very pure organic foods and more vegetables, and kind of staying away from sugars and carbs, because those two aid to our skin. And I think there's a movement in the world, in the universe, that's kind of moving towards that. But we also are kind of slow moving, but we're getting there. That the skin, whatever we're putting inside, I always say, what if you can't eat it, don't put it on your skin. And what we put
Wow.
on our skin is just important,
Wow.
because our skin is
Mhm,
the largest organ. It's an organ. It's an organ like your
mhm,
kidneys, your heart, your liver. It's an organ, and it's the largest organ. It's the largest organ of
Hmm.
your body. So it absorbs, it breathes, it's alive. So
mhm,
whatever you put on your skin, it's going to seep over time into your bloodstream, into your cells, and it can attack some of your
Mm.
organs, because the products that are over the counter right now are full of toxin. One of the
mhm,
things out there is that women are putting 5 pounds of toxin on their body through skincare a year. Okay,
wow.
so a year we're
Wow.
putting like 5 pounds of toxins in our skin, and only 80% of those ingredients have been tested through FDA, and 100
Mhm,
of those ingredients are toxic. And the other key thing about it, it only takes 26 seconds to get into your bloodstream. And then once it gets into your bloodstream, it gets in there by what we're eating, by what we're breathing, and what we are applying to our skin, which causes a toxin overload. And these overloads can result into terminal illnesses, skin diseases, thyroids, fibroids, you name it. You know, it turns into a lot of these diseases are things that we're being faced with. And we're thinking, well, it's coming, it's just happening. No, a lot of it is coming through our skin ingredients that we've been doing for years since we were babies. Actually, unborn babies are getting toxin. You know, unborn babies have a high percentage of toxin in their body before they're even born because it's coming through the mother. So it's so much out there that we don't know about what we're putting in our skin and how it's contaminating and poisoning our bodies. I mean, from makeup to shampoo to conditioner to you name it, body lotions, you name it, hair dyes, all that stuff. Everything that is beautifying us, that the world has painted to beautify us, is toxic. Yeah, it's so much chemicals in there. Yeah.
Wow. That's interesting. I wish there was a way that parents could learn early in life, even before pregnancy, the importance of what they're putting into their babies and when their babies are born. That is very interesting. I did not know that. I have learned something today.
Yes.
That is really interesting.
Yes.
Now,
Because you guys remember there was a news flash on the talcum powder. Remember Johnson & Johnson?
Yeah, I remember.
Did you guys hear about that? That was causing ovarian cancer. So it's just that same thing that's going on, but we don't hear a lot of it. They don't because there's lobbyists that are suppressing it, so we don't hear a lot of that. Yeah.
And I think another was baby powder too.
Yeah. Baby powder, and you remember perms? That's why a lot of people stopped wearing hair perms.
Yes.
Started going down.
That's bad. Exactly. You know, and just imagine how we were putting perms and dyes. I mean, that stuff was like, I remember I had perms, and I remember I would get sores in my head, you know, and that's so unnatural. Look, that's so unnatural.
Where do you think the root of problems lie when it comes to creating stable, loving relationships?
You attract basically who you are. So if you want to attract a better partner, become a better person. And if I'm grinding, setting myself for building my family wealth, generational wealth, it would be not right for me to be with someone who actually has a spending problem.
Well, you better. Yes, sir.
Julia, are you ready to play band with us? I'm gonna play my clarinet.
And Elmo's gonna play his drum. Drum loud.
Oh, well, you know what to do, Julia.
Julia knows.
With Julia's autism, loud sounds can be too much.
But she still loves to make music. Play band.
Early screening for autism can make a lifetime of difference. Find out more at screenforautism.org.
Today, we're going to be cooking a whole yellowtail snapper. To get extra seasoning down inside that fish. Yeah, that's what we're doing.
Okay, another question, Yolanda, is a little bit different. Our audience is primarily over the age of 50. What are the best ways for this age group to nourish their skin? You know, we've raised during a time where we're getting these perms and putting all this other stuff on us, and now we're learning better. So what's your
I mean, there's so many things that we can do. I'm always about taking it back to the basics, you know, going back to the basics, because that's really where it's at. You know, go back to the basics. Simplicity. I celebrate simplicity. I think sometimes we make things a little bit too complicated, and it's just really simple. I mean, you can go back and really like feed your skin fruits and vegetables, really right out of your refrigerator. You know, one of the things that I put on my skin literally almost every other day is avocado. Just plain avocado. I just take an avocado, mash it up, and put it all over my skin, all over my face, and my neck, because that's one thing I always tell people, your neck or your face. So you got to get the neck and let it sit for about a good 5 minutes, jump shower and rinse it off. I mean, you can do things that simple. That simple.
Right.
Drinking a lot of water. Water with lemon, water with lime. It helps to detox your skin. You know, just really not using products, too many products over the counter, because one of the things about skincare is FDA has no regulations over skincare. So manufacturers don't have to tell you what's in the product. That's the thing. Don't have to tell you. So if we created this product and it got dog poo-poo in it, I don't have to tell you that. So when you read the ingredients and you see aloe and all these things on here, I put dog poo-poo in there, but I don't have to tell you that. So that's really the danger zone of a lot of cosmetics. Food, you have to tell. FDA regulations, they make you tell, but not with personal care. Personal care does not, you do not have to tell. So that's the real danger, because it's a mystery. And we really think it's a marketing type thing. So the marketing, you know, gives you this beautiful picture and it may show this beautiful aloe. And you're like, oh, it's natural, but it's really not. It's very toxic. So my thing is, the safest way is go back to your kitchen. Go back to the refrigerator, you know, go to your garden and get you like some avocado, get you some aloe vera. You can moisturize with olive oil or coconut oil. Just really basic stuff. Keep it simple. Simple.
Wow. So Yolanda, can we undo damage if we've damaged our skin? Can we undo it?
Undo. I like that question though. I like that question. That's a great question. That's a really good question. Can we undo? You know,
can we undo it?
You know, you can, you know, one thing, let's just talk about aging. You know, I think aging is a privilege. It's an honor to age. You know, I mean, some people don't get an opportunity to age. So aging to me simplifies or symbolizes life. You know, so it's an honor to age. It's a beautiful thing. It's an extraordinary thing, you know, to age. And so we wanna embrace it, because I had to learn that, wow, this is an honor that I'm aging. This is beauty. And so that's one thing that we want to embrace. So we can't undo that. We just have to embrace that. I think when you know better, you do better, you know?
Right.
So once you know, then you begin to just shift at that moment, you know, and start feeding your skin the truth. Feed your skin with simplicity, love, you know, really be wary of what you're buying over the counter, because it's a lot of that is not the truth. You know, it's not the truth. It's fake. It's about money. It's about dollars. I mean, if you can't pronounce those ingredients, then you don't need to be putting it on your skin.
Right.
And now with Google, you can just Google the ingredients. Just go out there and Google the ingredients, and it'll tell you that it came from antifreeze that we put in our car. You know, it's stuff they antifreeze. Like, you know, people always tell me about Vaseline. Well, can I use Vaseline? And I said, well, what does it say on the jar? It says petroleum. What is petroleum? Gasoline. Straight up.
Wow.
Vaseline. So, you know, Vaseline is a byproduct. So what Vaseline is, that the oil, you know, when they pump the oil and they have the oil machine, and it's the crude oil that was building up in the rings, you know, in the rings of the machine. So as the oil pumps, it's crude oil. So it's that Vaseline is the crude oil of the gasoline that they pump. And so that's what that is. And so that's gasoline.
Well, I tell you, Yolanda, as usual with Miss Hendricks and David and I, we always get so intrigued and involved. And we're almost out of time. And so,
All
because we're
right.
almost out of time, we like to first get a commitment for you to come back and share more with us. Miss Hendricks and I have learned so much already in terms
Yes.
of, and this Vaseline piece is just taking, oh my
I know
goodness.
a lot of people get mad about that Vaseline.
Yes. So we like to say before we wrap up, we like to get a commitment for you to return to give us a part two, and we can get a chance to talk about the services you provide because you've got a wonderful facility that we certainly want people to learn about. And before we go, we like to at least ask you, is there something you'd like to leave with our audience before we wrap this session up? And how
I
can you
will
be
just
reached
say,
as well?
Right.
well, you can reach me on our website. It's www.iwifresh.com. You can also go to our Instagram and all of our social media handles, which is at IWIFresh, Iwi Fresh. And you can DM me, you can email me at Yolanda Owens at IWIFresh.com as well. And then check us out. Our location is at 341 Nelson Street, Atlanta, Georgia, 30313.
Thank you, Ms. Yolanda. And for those of you who are just checking us out, this is another edition of Forever Young. Our executive producer is Dr. E. Dewey Smith. Our producer is Benton Aladdin. And the typical hosts for me are Miss Hendricks, who's with me today, and David Linton in his absence. And I'm Dr. Sharon Mitchell, and we'd like to thank you for joining us again today for Forever Young, where we believe that age is just a number. Until next time, see you soon.
Amen.
We're talking about healthy aging and healthy living.
I'm so passionate about feeding your skin the truth. And the truth is with fruits, vegetables, and all type of herbs. And that's really my motto is feed your skin the truth.